I'm not doing this. I'm not. I'm not doing it. It is the trend direction indicator, everybody. And I'm starting to think the people who name these things are not very creative at all. Good coders. But this may sound a bit familiar to you. We have done the trend direction force index already on this channel. And there's been a couple other indicators that kind of sound like this one. But this is certainly different than anything we've done here. Not super different, but unique in its own way. You'll see in a moment. But before we get there, if you're new, this is the premier indicator channel on all of YouTube. Always was, always will be. But if you're new, you got to get caught up before you start watching these indicator profile series videos. So go to no-nonsense-forex.com. Read the first page, watch that first video, and get caught up. Do not come here until you have done that for the rest of us. Let's go ahead and get into the specs of the trend direction indicator. So the year here is going to be very recent, in 2022. This is going to be a confirmation indicator, of course, and it's going to be a chart overlay indicator, which I like doing sometimes. We do so many zero crosses, so many two lines crosses. I like these. I think there's good utility here, and there's greater possibilities in my mind to be able to use these as exit indicators too. You know, it's going to take a bit of work. You're going to have to really ratchet up the tweaks. You're not going to be able to use any of the tweaks that you see on the blog for exit purposes, but certainly possible here. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. It's pretty simple. See this nice magenta line, and it kind of moves more like the Kijun-sen like we've seen before on here, but it's going to make, as soon as it gets the signal it likes, and so what's going to happen is this candle is going to break this line, and when it does, you'll see this kind of violent flip upward, and then when it closes, it will come back and officially give you that signal. So your entry is going to be right here on this particular short, and then it will be right here on this long. Interesting on the example. I mean, if we're just going by examples alone, you got a sucky loss here, but if you just stayed with it, it would have paid you off. Same thing here. And then this was good wherever it started. That was obviously good. And this was obviously pretty good. Unless you get stopped out here. Probably not, but hard to say. So, with that in mind, we should go ahead and get to the results as long as everybody understands what we're doing here. Now, before we do that, understand the way it performs in your own system is all that matters. I still think there's a lot of you out there that get too high when they see these great results, or too low when they see inferior results. Wrong move. Test all of these in your own system regardless of what you see here. Now also understand, down below in the description, we got you hooked up. We got the automation blog, my automation blog, that has an embedded video on how to test this yourself on the MT4 strategy tester. If you are a bigger fan of MT5 or TradingView, the best thing to do would be to type the name of this indicator, the name of the platform you like, and then the word download, and see what comes up. As always, you're going to get a link to the blog. It has all the tweak settings that you don't see on here, all the history, a lot of coding stuff, all the stuff you'd want to know if you did want to know those things, and then Dan's YouTube channel, which has a supplemental video to what you will see on this video every week. So if you like what you see here, or even if you're just interested, or you just want to go check out some more examples of the indicator moving in real time, then that's where Dan's channel is going to come in. You'll also get a secondary email address where you can submit indicators for this channel. Actually, I didn't give any credit to Matt from last week. He sent in the silence indicator. That was his. I thought Dan found it. No, that was one of you. So we're 3 for 3. We had some pretty good success with that one. And so keep bringing them. We will keep displaying them periodically. So sorry, Matt, for that late shout out, but better late than never. And then, as always, a link to where you can download this indicator, the silence indicator, and every indicator we have profiled here on the Indicator Profile series. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the results, starting with EURUSD. Interesting here. So not going to blow the roof off with these examples here, but 9 out of 10 on a Forex pair. Pretty darn good. Didn't quite give us the ROI we're looking at, but if I were to see something like this, what would interest me more is to go test this in my own system on the EURUSD, because that's what you're supposed to do, but also start testing it on other Euro pairs and other USD pairs, because it might be onto something with those particular currencies in terms of accuracy. Probably maybe not 9 out of 10, that's absurd to get that across the board, but perhaps the euro yen or the Kiwi dollar would give me a pretty good win-loss ratio, but a higher ROI. That would be the first place I would start testing after I tested this pair right here. Because even though a 90% win-loss ratio is easier to get when you have a lot less trades like you do here, it's still pretty remarkable. So let that be your little takeaway for this week. And I'm moving on to gold. Strong. We have seen stronger. But on gold, a lot of times we see it's this win-loss ratio again. This thing is a lot more accurate than what I've seen in the past. And more trades to boot here. So it's a little more plausible, I guess. So again, see what you can do with that perhaps. But I think the real gold here, pardon the pun, is going to be in the S&P, believe it or not. And on the 4-hour chart, this is a record high for the indicator profile series on the S&P 500. It's got to be. If anybody wants to correct me down below in the comments, let me know. But I don't think I've ever seen that figure pop up in the S&P. And there's that crazy accuracy again. Like, even if you don't tweak this at all, you're still getting, lower trades, but here it's not. And you're still hitting 70%. That's useful, even if you're not one of the 2 people who watch this channel who trade the S&P on the 4-hour. Probably in Germany somewhere. But this is absurd. And with a good sample size of trades, too. I was really pleased and a bit shocked to see that when I saw that. But let's go ahead and end off with Bitcoin. Strong, but you've seen a lot stronger on the show. Nothing to really write home about. Test it anyway. There you go. So we will continue to be all things finance for you. Trading Psychology podcast every Monday. Indicator Profile series videos every Wednesday. Blog every Thursday. And the 10-Minute Contrarian Investing podcast every Saturday. There's not much of a reason to subscribe to a lot of YouTube channels out there. You can just kind of pick the videos you want and go with it. But you're not going to want to miss anything here. So subscribe, hit the bell, put in the work, and go get it.